Okay, the next I'm going to work on a card again with mulberry paper number 2B, which is the thinner one. Number 2 has a stringing fiber in it. That's what the previous video you just saw, the clip with a wild boar. Let me do this with a card. So you might start with a pencil or charcoal drawing. Just plan your composition a little bit, and especially to save some white, like the tusk. I want to make sure it's an eye. Eye don't have to be white. Here, it's just a brief composition to do some control marks. All right. The next I'm going to use a special liquid called white transparent ink. Transparent ink, not white. When you apply it. But if you later darken the paper, you will show as a white. Let me just use a brush to dip it, so I don't waste it. And I just splat. Let me put this away so I don't. Protect the felt. So okay, first of all, I need to protect the tusk, the white part of that. And let me just chop. Okay, I just dot a little bit snow, and just splatter. I hope I can get this right. Snow flecks. Okay. Flecks of snow. Let it dry. It will become waterproof. It's like a size, I think, but I don't know the ingredients of that. You can use alum for the same effect. Create white. Okay, and you can also draw some like a snow icicles on branches or grass, things like that as a background. That will help also. Let it dry. While we're waiting for that, I will do another card. So you start multiple tasks, multiple paintings at one time. This would also not only save time, will also prevent you from overdoing something. Don't keep working on one painting so you got bored or overdoing things because of that. Okay, and let me just cut this paper. So we do a half page just for the time we're waiting for the other painting. All right. This one I don't use any white ink, but I just use, like we saw earlier, the paper texture to create that kind of effect. so the white texture in black. Let me get some liquid ink so it's faster. Basically, you dilute the black to get gray. You don't have to add anything in it. You can add some opaque colors like mineral blue or something like that, just to increase the body. Maybe blend it a little bit. So this is the I got some references here. This is the one I try to do, and I do the opposite way, so I have to hold it against the light on the back first, just some bold strokes, some shading if you like, and then turn in the back. So this will make the texture show, right? So the veins will show this way. And then you can draw more details on the front with the tip of the brush. And then add the snout. This is a side view, so not showing the front. And here is the characteristic of the boar or hawk, the big teeth, big tooth, tusk. And you can draw the underside with light ink. The white, don't have much there, that's okay. And just add some dark accent, give an illusion of the details. Lots of detail are already there with the paper. Don't have to do anything. This is the powerful rear leg. And just two legs basically. This is bent front leg and just a hint of that knee or elbow. Be fine. And just add the foot. This is a little darker. And I will hide the tail with the reeds or grass or anything. Just dilute it. I use a paper towel, dry the brush, and just add water so you get light. Don't wash the brush. Just do it in groups of 3, like an orchid. Yeah. Dense and sparse are important. Idea completes with absence of a stroke. I think I missed that task. I can use white, but never mind. I think it just emphasize on the gesture is fine. Details are not very important. You have to wait a little bit to dot the I. I think that's it. Okay, and you can sign on this corner. Just leave room for the movement. You can also sign on this corner. I think that would be better. I think. I just put the year of hog. A short one, just year, and this is how you can date your painting next year. Just Xieyi, and yes, signature. I have a seal. I think my pad is somewhere here. The stone seal needs a rubber pad. If you use rubber seal stamp, you don't need a pad, right? So this is okay. This is it. And let me do this one now. I think it's already dry enough. What I do is I would do the back. Maybe let me do the front first. So this painting. Start from the snout, and then the forehead, just suggestively. See if I'm not sure if this water resist liquid called white ink would work, so I just avoid it if I could. You can just paint over it if you. Yeah, I think it would at least make it lighter, if not completely white. So maybe dot the eye so I don't lose that. If you leave a little white thing to suggest highlight, and then the ear. I'm going to work on the back as much, but I cannot see my sketch. I have to just do it within the safe zone first, I think, and then add more. So some texture would show, and I also keep the white of snowflakes. I got the snowflakes too big. You can still paint on it, I hope. So just paint on it. You can outline a little bit and then shading combine. This is a card, so I just try to make it simple. So you can produce a lot without too much time. Original card is very different than prints. I don't make any editions, because I can paint very fast. I enjoy that, and you need to practice like this, repeat, so you remember the composition without a reference eventually, and create your own style later. Okay, just keep it simple, I think. The trees and the background. Let me see if the water resist works. So let me just wash on the front so I can see the composition better. Remember the liquid we just applied, and now it's time to use some maybe gray blue kind of sky. I just use some dirty color there. This is opaque. I think an ultramarine should be. I use Hovian's watercolor because I've been studying watercolor recently. It's handy to use. Just got plenty of gray here. And you can use a little amber to mute it. So it's not. Oh, I got some watercolor going here. Even why not? We can mount it to then paint. You can do that. So that's an inspiration. That's a nice color. So I'm going to do this. Combine techniques from West and East. So I mount this card on this watercolor paper, cardstock. Okay, let me see. This is the front. Let's see, this way. Use an iron. And plug in. Okay. First of all, I need to mount the silicone paper. Somebody asked, what's this magic thing? This film is called silicone. Silicone is the material. It's heat-sensitive silicone film for dry mounting. I call it silicone paper because it comes with a release paper, which can also be used for backing, but we better use a permanent backing, like oops, you stick on the back side of this. I mean, if it's larger than the surface you're working, it will stick on the pad. That's okay. Well, you see, this is what happens. When you got moisture, it will create wrinkles. So this area should be completely dry. Okay, completely dry for dry mounting. Because if you got more water, it start to buckle and wave. All kind of problem will arise from the water on the surface you're working. So just peel off this release paper. Okay, and it's a film attached to that. It's a little bit bigger, so you can trim it off if you will. I just fold it. It will melt, so it won't be noticed. Let me put this on. And just put, doesn't matter if it stick on the back, just let it do that. And my card is a little bit bigger, but that's okay. It's more artistic, I think. Okay, iron it again. This time, you can spray a little water because the painting is still wet. So I Just use that moisture is enough. This is so small, so you don't have to use water. Just activate it with the temperature 180 Fahrenheit. It's between silk and wool. I think it's a little higher today. I want it fast. It's almost wool. That's okay, a little bit higher than normal. Okay, you can see some of the water resist become yellow. I think it's maybe the color of the gelatin or something. Doesn't matter. Then we just wash this background. Oops, too dark. You just basically, I want to show you the effects. I overdid the splatter. You can see too big. You might use a better tool to apply that liquid, the transparent ink. Okay. Yeah, you can do some more on the ground. I just use a mixture of blue and amber to get gray. So this is the snow. I use my fingers. It's the artist way. Always use your hand. See, this I already applied some color there, so I need to show it by gray the background. Don't overdo it. It's downhill here and go up. And you can just give a little shading there. It will become icicles. I wish I can do it on the back, but no, I can't because it's already been mounted. I cannot do it. Just some shading there. Okay, this is it. I'll sign here when it dries. So let me finish the other one. You can still add a little bit, just a little bit reflection color on the body there. You can add more ink if you need. I can feel the frost on the fur. I mean, yeah. See there. That's great, right? You can use more watercolor if you want. Just like a little warm color here and there. that. Let me see. This needs to be a little. That jar. Oh, there's a little hair, like a beard thing. Lots of texture, that's the idea. You can still paint on the white if you want to eliminate any. So it's like size the paper is not making it, but it's too expensive to use this as a sizing. You can make the alum and gelatin. You can get the materials from Blue Heron Arts. Okay. I use my, we have iron here, so why don't we just iron it? I just iron this spot so I can sign it. Okay. Oops. Just put the title. Let me see if I have space. Yes. The Japanese New Year's greeting. Zhu Tu Meng. Ji, meaning bravely break through and rush forward. I think that's according to the kanji. I don't read Japanese, but we can all read kanji the same. This is the year of the pig from 2019, and my Chinese name. I started to get ink pigs, blurs. Let me iron it. Okay, stop blurring. Okay, I'm going to seal it. Okay, so another gift card is done. If you order between today and I just activated this code again, 20 BHA 18, you get 18% off. You can also receive this card later. I put a minimum requirement for purchasing. You can get this for free. Happy New Year. And okay, before I finish, there's another card to mount quickly. So let's do this in the other way. The method A, so you can learn both. Method A is to mount this painting first onto the silicone paper, then transfer to the card or permanent support. Okay, this is method A, which is a little bit more difficult, but not so much difficult. Cut the paper with any tool you want. I use scissors first because this is so small. Okay. Okay, make sure this is dry, no moisture in this area, definitely. If you have, like a steam the paper, the painting here, you better do it outside this area, somewhere else. I don't need to do that. You can spray the painting and somewhere else, okay? But since it's so small, you don't need. You can skip the wet part because I have some moisture here in the painting already. But you do need to protect the painting. Let's see what I have. I have this paper. I have to recycle this. This is a release paper that doesn't have the silicone film. I already released it from the previous project, from this painting, right? So I covered the painting to protect the dirt from the dust from this iron. Now you can start just very gently cover the whole thing first, then from center out, or you can do a circle, whatever you do, just cover the entire card as soon as you can, and take a look. If it's okay, keep iron until it's completely dry, because the painting is still damp. I need to make sure it's dry, otherwise it will not stick together. The film will be loose. So about half a minute. Okay. Now you can see it's soft. This way I can still roll it. I can, if it's a big painting, you can still roll it. But this way you cannot roll it, right? So you do this right before framing, or actually, before you send me the card, you have to do this. This is the card I'm going to put on. So transfer the painting onto the card is as easy as peeling off the release paper. This is a release paper, okay? This is the silicone is now attached to the painting. You can see how nice it is. It's already very nice and flat. It would be nicer if you put this on the card now, like that. This paper goes back on top. The release paper we just peel it off goes on top of the. I would put the waxy side, the shiny side, against the painting, so it will not stick on anything. Okay, and then reactivate the silicone film, heat-sensitive silicone adhesive film. Very easy. This step, no water. So this paper is got dust, so that you have to cover the painting on that. So this is it. It's a little bit minor wrinkle, but you can find more, but it's okay. Just leave it. Not so bad. Because if you use water, it might be smoother, but it takes longer. It doesn't really make much difference in small painting. This part, because the silicone is not big enough to cover that, so you can trim it off with the scissors if you want. You can fold the card and then trim it off. I'll just leave it, this shows this is original copy, not a print. people will appreciate more if you just leave some trees for handmade cards. Happy New Year, everybody! Hope you enjoyed this lesson, and send out your pic with your greeting to your loved ones.